Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Jace Beleren Must Die. So you get to go back to your home. You get to rest. All of you crammed in that one room with all those boxes. But you are all feeling much better the next day. So anybody who has spell slots or key points or whatever to recoup, you get a long rest in. And and wake up the next day feeling refreshed and ready to go. So where to first? You have a couple of threads out there.
You guys want to go see that lawyer guy first thing, or do you want to find a safe spot for this ornithopter?
If we see the lawyer guy, Torgor thinks maybe we could find someplace along the way, someplace that we know where it's at, but maybe if it's hidden in plain sight.
Yeah. Hidden in plain sight.
You just say that profoundly to the empty air.
In plain sight. SIGHT SITECITE PLANEPLAIN. I see where we're going with this. I got nothing, guys. Honestly, I have nothing.
Torgor, wow, Torgor, I thought you were something was happening.
I'm personally impressed at how many different ways there are to spell plain and sight. It's pretty good. I never thought about that. Well, I mean, Tack, you come from an empire of garbage. It's fairly easy to hide things in the Golgari Underground if you know what you're doing.
That's true.
That's certainly an option.
It is extremely easy to hide things there. Not super easy to hide things for free, but
Yeah.
oh,
Road, are you okay?
Yeah, no, I just another day, another dollar of tech trying to steal vinegar.
I think Rod finally got the hotel bill.
Oh,
Right.
Also, not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
I've never stayed in a hotel before. I was overwhelmed.
yeah. It was. Yeah, it was exactly like that scene from Blank Check.
I was
What?
talking to my husband about Blake Check just yesterday.
Oh,
and-
really?
Yes.
Mr. McIntosh.
Yes.
Yes.
I was talking to him just yesterday as we were coming home from lunch.
He built a go-kart
like,
course in
man.
his backyard.
Yeah. Well, and I was like, I can't believe that they never disputed it with the bank. And he was like, no, you see what happened was they
Yeah.
talked to the president and they were laundering all the, and he lays out this extremely elaborate plot that
It was well thought out. Bravo to
as
Disney.
as well thought out as
Okay, so they give a blank check to a sixth grader.
Also, if you go back to watch that movie, there's no reason, the reason that they give you for that kid being picked on or having reason to want $1 million is just his brother was sort of mean to him one time. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
he's
weird.
not exactly Kevin McAllister, so it's
Right.
like
Kevin McAllister. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, enough about
Sorry,
Blank
yeah.
Check.
Yeah, right. Enough about family comedy Blank Check from 1994.
Yeah, I had a bit part as kid at the party number 3. Blank Check.
I recognize you. Okay.
that's how I know you're lying, because it was the 90s. There was no way that family was hiring or inviting
That's true.
brown kids to their birthday parties.
That
so-
is true.
True that. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, so
What
What were we talking about?
everybody just blanked out for a minute, just
Blank
staring at
check?
the wall. Yeah.
Hiding the ornithopter somewhere that might cost money.
Oh yeah, the ornithopter.
Yeah,
Let's I mean, if you have a place that you think we can stash this thing that it wouldn't come back to us, that'd be great.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Are you planning on contributing something useful to this team, or are you just gonna eat more?
Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa! Rude
Seriously.
Whoa!
Obviously, I'm gonna eat your cake.
Torgor just like claps, just like such cruel savagery.
Oh my gosh! I've had a really hard day. Okay, almost got sold to a weird ringleader.
We've been together most of the day.
It was a hard morning.
It was very nice.
All right.
What are we
So is
talking
that a-
about? Okay, so we're gonna hide this, like
Yeah, let's-
underground.
Yeah,
How
let's
much-
drop it off somewhere underground.
How much would it
And-
cost
Okay. Cost for what?
to hide it?
Oh, it's free for you.
Oh, cool. It's free for us, Torgor.
Technically, I owe
Why is
Torgor
he
money.
mad? Are we
Yeah,
gonna
there's
go?
like there's tons of like empty food carts and stuff. We could probably stash in one of those. Wouldn't that be so funny?
Wait, why would that be
Yeah.
funny? We should just hide it someplace safe.
Insecure. I'd like to add the word security to whatever plan that you're making.
I mean, nothing's secure underground, but sure.
Yeah, secure, safe, number 1, 2, and funny 3. Like funny,
Oh
is
yeah,
good,
funny
but
would
like,
be good.
but 3, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if there was a statue of someone like holding a basketball, and like we just took out the statue basketball and replaced it with the ornithopter,
Oh,
that would be funny.
What if we hid it in that Jace cultist or Peacock cultist orgy room?
Oh,
No, that sounds like a bad idea. No, you're right.
yeah, it seems like a lot of work for something we wouldn't have access to very easily.
Yeah, let me add easy access to that list.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do. Oh yeah, we should definitely
Tack
do
like
that.
giggles the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Road is just getting more and more annoyed.
Okay. I'm trying to think of like where Tack hangs out. Oh no. Tack's like, look, I have the perfect place.
Oh yeah.
I'm supposed to return this shooty thingy to this guy anyway.
I knew exactly what you were. Oh, no.
I still don't know. Road, where are we taking this thing?
Do you trust me?
100% with my life.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic to hear. So how do you feel about another Izzet kind of holding on to it? It has no interest in actually like creating stuff or tinkering.
Oh yeah, I'm fine with that.
Cool.
Don't worry, Mr. Tesla. We're just gonna give your notes to my best buddy, Edison. He'll just look after him for you. Don't worry
He's gonna
about it.
guard him.
And like
You guys
I'm
are-
there almost all the time, so I can totally keep an eye on it.
Wait, so where's this going?
Tack wants to drop it off at Nerm's place.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Just have Nerm look after it.
And if he screws it up, I'll just kill him. It's like win-win. Can any of you say the same?
It's true. It is a win. It's the definition of a win-win. Yeah, yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
totally down
All
to
right.
do this. I mean, that's a good plan, I think, right? Like he would totally be
We
up for
talked
it.
about implicating another person, and we found
Yeah.
him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're-
Plus, it's a steady stream of weapons. That works out too.
I can't wait for everyone we've crossed to come back and kill us.
Yeah, right. You're creating your own supervillain team, mostly
Oh,
of
yeah.
like spurned members, I think.
Well, I would rather create a supervillain team of weenie nerds that we ourselves chose than create an entire new team that the DM chooses.
Mhm. Yeah, fair. Create your own enemies.
It
Well,
is
the problem
fair.
is that team of weenies will eventually be led by Raoul when he realizes that his boyfriend kissed Vinegar. He's
And
very
Is
jealous.
super
that
loved
the
it.
only motivation? Is
Yeah,
that
that's
is
it.
that what does it?
Yeah,
How dare you?
How
It's just
dare
like-
you?
At the end, he's like standing over our bodies, and he's just like, "Yeah, that guy almost brought you down. He almost brought us what?"
Yeah.
It's true. And we all saw the flashback. We saw how messy that kiss was. So
You really want to fuck with Ral? Just go find a fridge to put Tomic in. So,
oh no.
so you're gonna go and see Nerm. Are you going by yourself, Tak, or are you bringing your friends?
I'm so not going by myself.
Yeah, I figured because
Yeah,
you
you
get
are.
this crate you got to carry around and
Yeah.
okay.
I think I'm just gonna carry it myself. That's
We're gonna come to your date? That seems awful.
it's not really a date. It's just like I go to his house and we hook up and then I steal things from him.
I'm not gonna
That
go to
sounds
your
like a
fun
date.
buddy's
No. You know, I think Winnegar should go with you.
Yeah, Winnegar, you should totally come. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Tor thinks, yeah, you know, you gotta watch after this object. Like, do any like, I don't know, putting
Yeah.
Nerm off from poking his eyes into it. Say what you need to say. You know,
And if
Nerm
we
can-
have to kill him today, then you can make up an excuse for why I didn't come to work.
Well, yeah. I mean, we can cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's just maybe he has a crawl space that we can put this in, or like on top of the fridge. Just we don't
How
have
tall
to.
do you think goblin fridges are?
It's like one of those dorm room fridges. The microwave
mini,
built on
little
top
mini
of
fridge, yeah.
it.
So doesn't that put it right in eyesight of anybody who walks in?
Yeah, but no one's gonna look there, right?
Man, it'd be great to be a goblin. Suddenly, my 700 square foot apartment is like a 1,400 square foot apartment. I live in a 4-floor apartment. They're just all this big. Perfect. Okay, all right.
Trying
So,
to get a home loan is like meh.
so Tak and Winnegar, you head for Nerm's house. So we stay with the two of you, and we cut over to the streets of Ravnica. You are outside. This is a familiar place for you, Tak. Winnegar, you've never been here, but you recognize the work of an Izzet, right? Like Nerm's front door has some kind of complicated home security device attached to it, like a view port with like some kind of like, it would probably electrocute you if you tried to break in.
Oh yeah.
And
I've
there are a
broken
bunch
into
of
it, like thousands of times, and Tak actually just has a fucking key.
yeah. This relationship has advanced very quickly in a few days just because Tak has no boundaries. Like,
It's
cool, I
true.
live with you now. What? Yeah, thanks. So I'm gonna be wearing your pants and I'm leaving your house. Bye. So yeah, and it has plastered on the door. It has signs in Goblin and Common and a handful of other languages that basically just say "Keep out, genius at work." And so Tak, you have a key.
I'm
So
a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Mhm. yep.
Tak has like a key from a copy that they themselves made. It's just like click click.
Mhm.
It's like,
Oh, yeah. He's probably gonna change the lock in like 2 days, so we need to hurry up.
Yeah. Wait. Does he not know that we're coming?
Obviously he does. That's why
Oh.
we came while he was at work.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, let's go.
So you head
Amateur.
inside, and you come off of the landing because he lives in like an apartment building, and you come inside, and are you like, you just walk in and announce yourself, Tak, or are you like being sneaky? What's your approach here?
I'm gonna be sneaky.
Yeah. All right, make a stealth check.
Okay. This is a bad idea. Here we go.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh,
Y'all
I
are
did
rolling
it.
so good. 28. Okay.
Well,
Oh my
you
God.
really lucked out and like fixed the numbers for us. So
All
super cool of you, Adam.
Yeah, yeah,
Make us look
definitely.
cooler than we are.
All right. So I got a 6 to detect you, so it's fine. So here's what you
Nice.
see when you walk in. So you sneak in, and you hear Nerm, and at first maybe Winnegar, you think that Nerm is being tortured, or has caught their hand in like a garburator or something. There is this awful warbling noise coming from the kitchen, and Tak, as you peer around the corner, you see Nerm in all of their glory. They're wearing just underwear, and they have a set of headphones on, big foam headphones. And there's like a long cable running off the headphones to a pack that is clipped to the band of their underwear, which is like kind of like pulling it down because the elastic's not like really meant to be. It's not a belt, right? So it's like kind of pulling it down. So you get some like Nerm crack on the back, and Nerm is just singing at the top of their lungs. Some like awful song you can't even recognize, and they have a feather duster in their hand, and they're cleaning their kitchen. So there's just like dusting and singing, and there's some hip wiggling, and you are welcome to, with your 28, you're welcome to behold this sight as long as you would like before Nerm will not realize you're here.
Yeah, I super hate that they've seen me naked. So why don't we just like stash it in like the attic or something like that, and get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, let's go. Man, I wish I could be as carefree as a dancer as he is. I mean, look at him go. He's just,
Winnegar,
going.
could I get a stealth check from you, please?
Oh yeah.
Winnegar, if you fuck this up, I swear to God.
Wait, what? What do you mean? I'm stealthy. Sorta.
You are. You got a 12, and I only have an 11, so you're okay. You stay hidden. Nerm does not realize that there is a violation of their home occurring. So
He knows the entire rap part of that song. No one knows that part.
Nerm is doing the entirety of Triumph, all the parts, like every single part. It doesn't matter, all of them. So he's gonna be busy for at least 9 minutes.
Rap is a very delicate art form, and it's like it doesn't matter how quickly you say the words, you just gotta float. Like, come on, you gotta meet halfway in the middle. You can't just nerds.
Nerm has begun freestyling, putting their own name in place of other proper nouns in the song.
I don't even know. I don't even want to.
I'm not gonna lie, Tech's actually a little into it, but we do.
Yeah. What I'm really doing here is trying to seduce Tech, but
Look, let's go. We'll put it in the attic.
Okay,
and
let's go. I'm just saying, he's got bars. He's got bars.
he does not.
okay, all right. So you want to try to find, the plan is to find somewhere in Nerm's apartment, which, as with many apartments, it's pretty messy. There's lots of stuff everywhere. So you want to hide it somewhere that Nerm will not be able to notice that it isn't just.
Yeah. Does he have like
junk.
a box that like of sports equipment or like something like he would like that's gathered dust for like a very long time that he's never gone through or hasn't gone through in a very long time?
Okay, so you're digging through, like looking for a place, and you
Like
find
holiday wrapping paper.
you find a box labeled "Broken Dreams,"
Oh no.
and when you open it, inside there's a uniform. There's a Boros uniform. There's a helmet, and there's a picture of Nerm and a bunch of other people like posed together in like Boros boot camp, and it's like Boros boot camp, 10,204, and there's a bunch of people who've signed it. Like, see you next year, Nerm. Have a great summer, Nerm. And then that's it. And it looks like this box has not been opened in a very long time.
Oh man, look at him. This guy was actually pretty popular. What happened?
Yeah, Nerm is the center of the picture. Nerm has like a brush cut, and like everybody's like, got their arm around them, and like something happened.
They probably heard their rapping. Like, let's just.
I don't know. I just feel like
the
this
big
guy
Boros talent show was the last straw that got them kicked out.
Priority 1, stashing this ornithopter. Priority 2, robbing Nerm, obviously.
Sure. Okay. So does this sound like an appropriate place for you to hide the ornithopter? The illicit ornithopter?
Yeah, I think we could just toss it in the box. Maybe throw out his helmet and then toss it in the box or something. Like throw out like some of his books or something.
Yeah, I think there's room in here for you to hide the ornithopter, because again, it's like not that bulky. So you have this little box you put in there, cover it with some of the other sad memories, and then close it. Nerm has moved on to a power ballad of some kind, and is just like air guitaring the little feather duster. Yeah. So you have some time now. Tag, did you want to try to rob Nerm while you're here?
Obviously, I do.
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular, or because it all just looks like garbage to you,
More
which is
pew-pew.
great.
Because this thing pewed and it was great, so I want another pew pew.
Okay. Yeah, I think that was probably the only like obvious piece of like completed weaponry. But I mean,
I will
Winnegar.
take incomplete weaponry.
Yeah, Winnegar might be able to help you find something of value if you're willing to get him in on the crime.
Hey, Winnegar. So there's just a lot of stuff here, and I've been thinking about helping him clean up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like a girlfriend thing, like help out
What?
around the house. What? What?
So anything that looks like it could shoot somebody, because he's like super clumsy.
Oh, so you're just trying to like protect him from himself.
Oh yeah, they're. It's laughable, really.
Winnegar like stares at Tack and then like puts his hand on their shoulder. I've seen a lot of growth in you since you started seeing Nerm. Yeah. I'm gonna roll investigation and see if I can
Yeah.
if I can find
Pack's
anything.
gonna interpret that as racist, but not say anything.
What?
Usually when someone says to a Golgari, I see a lot of growths in you, it's not a good thing. You need to get those removed.
I like my growths.
Yeah, that's exactly.
All about body positivity down here.
Down here in the
Okay, let's see
Golgari
what I find. Oh,
Guns.
rolled a
guns.
2.
No guns.
Yeah,
No guns.
not only a 2, but you rolled a 1. You got a
1, yeah.
the worst possible result. Listen, not everybody can be Torgor, all right?
Yeah.
So you tried. Yeah, I don't think that there's anything here like worth stealing, honestly. Like
Okay.
it's all to you, Winnegar, it's all trash. Like less valuable trash than even Rourke's scrapyard has.
Oh wow.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. I'd
Yeah.
like to steal something out of spite.
Okay, sure. You take a random object.
I would like to just grab a random object.
Yeah. Okay. Good. You can write down random is it junk on your inventory in your character
Thank
sheet.
you.
So later when you maybe need it, it's there.
Thank you.
Yeah. But it does Winnegar, it does give you an idea of Nerm as being kind of a huge failure.
Oh. Yeah,
so
and as
far.
we pass by like him rocking out to like 80s power
Yeah,
ballads.
he's
and
serenading the mop now. He has it turned over so it's the mop head that is up, and he's like caressing its
more
hair.
than Nerm.
yeah, exactly. Just singing, and
More
it
than-
just is awful. It's just
I love
the
that
most
song.
Instead of more than words, it's more than Nerms.
Mhm.
I forgot I had 12 eggshells. I would like to leave 6 eggshells in place
Oh,
of the
that's
thing I
so
took.
That's so sweet. So later they'll see it and be like, "Oh, a present from Tack."
Tax sneaked in my house again.
Tack's love
Tack's-
language is garbage and
Yeah.
vandalism. Oh, someone lit my
5
car on
languages.
fire.
Maybe
I love you
Tack
too,
actually-
Tack.
Maybe Tack actually gets like a key made and breaks in and then like leaves a note so that Nerm remembers to always change their locks.
I broke into your house and
Oh.
left you
To,
this
like, keep-
garbage.
Nerm safe in like a weird roundabout way.
I'm watching you, not in a creepy way, but also in a
Yeah.
creepy way.
Oh,
But also, I have enemies that could
Yeah.
probably get into your house. Change your locks, you fucking weirdo.
I'll be by at 11. Come on, you fucking weirdo.
Excellent. All right, so the two of you, as stealthily as you arrived, you make your way out of the house. Now, Torgor and Rode, are you, while they're doing this, are you going to go and see the lawyer? Is it going to be a 2 birds with 1 stone situation, or do you have other things that you're doing?
As long as we up that disguise once more, because I don't know if you.
Let me bust out my disguise kit.
Yeah.
So time for a makeover first.
Yeah.
Let's get a nice roll of this.
Okay, so what are you trying to
scarf.
disguise yourself as? Just someone who's not you, or
I would say someone who's not me and someone who seems like they would belong in the Orzhov.
so you're trying to disguise yourself as a fellow member of the Orzhov Syndicate?
Right.
Okay, what about Rode? Are you disguising Rode as well?
Yes. Because I assume they'll help me in the process.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, we both dress up as Orsov.
So what do you get by some plastic fangs and like a black cape with like a red velvet interior and a big crazy?
No, probably as like major wannabes, like the ones who I assume like really love vampires, would love to be like like those Twilight fangirl.
Yeah. Hot Topic. Hot Topic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Torgor goes from like heavy metal fan to goth, and Road goes from weird squid girl to goth, anime fan to goth. Okay, good.
We're
I like
goths.
goth costume. It's pretty good. A 17's a pretty good goth costume. I like it.
I think I locked in. Yeah.
I feel like Torgor would be more like rockabilly goth than just straight up like, you know, like sad goth. Yeah.
He's got like that like 50s like leather jacket on in the right way. Like he's got a hot rod somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's in the shop.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like it. All right, so you don your Orzhov disguises, and you head for the lawyer's office. Yeah, and I think that we've seen this neighborhood lots of times, right? We've been around around the bank. There are people coming and going, and the contrast of their emotional states is telling, right? People going into Vizkopa Bank are usually looking kind of like downtrodden and afraid, and people coming out are either coming out with money or not coming out at all. So it's near 10th District Plaza. They are slowly rebuilding the guild hall that got burned down several days ago, and and Orzhova's black spires kind of loom over the plaza. And this guy has an office within Orzhova. His name is Milos, and he is an advocate. And that is all you know about him so far, but you know where to find him. So we follow you into Orzhova, into the hall of Orzhova itself. And I don't think Road or Torgor have ever had a reason to be in here personally, but it is an enormous. It's like somewhere between a beautiful like basilica and like a Dark Souls level. Like everything is huge, like vaulted stone. The people walking around are all dressed in black, white, and gold. The whole place has this kind of hush, this tomb-like hush, but everyone in it is super rich, right? You see like massive gold jewelry on people. You see like a monk, an Orzhov monk walk by with like an enormous gold chain around his neck, like weighing him down. This combination of destitute terror and massive expense is like the Orzhov jam. And so walking in, you are kind of given a cursory look. There are guards. There are those guard giants that we saw before with the big cyclopean helmets and the halberds standing outside, and you see more of them inside because you know that the Vizkopa Bank has vaults below it containing more zibs than the mind can count. You come into this place and you don't know where, because it's like a warren of interconnected offices and confessionals and bank tellers. So you don't really know where to go within here. What do you do? Where do you go? Do you ask for help? Do you hesitate?
Road looks around and then turns to Torgor and says, like, at all the wealth and the jewelry around, and just turns to Torgor and says, "Can I just say I'm so glad we did not bring tack."
Torgor is very happy because in this moment, Torgor is thinking, how can we plan a heist on this place for a later time? Tack would immediately try to steal things. Like, we can do both. We can, we can have it all.
Yeah, we'll just have it all. Let's, there's no like
so I think as soon as it looks like, because if you don't walk in and walk immediately to a place, I think that there's like someone would come, and like an attendant would come and speak to you. So I think that we have someone kind of like glide up to you. He's wearing long white robes, and he has a there's a name for it. It's not a scarf, but it's like a long piece of black fabric with the Orzhov symbol on it. He has that kind of like bowl cut, like monk look, and he comes up and he smiles, and he says, "Customers, can I help you? What are you looking for?"
Yes, my name is Doidor Fostoevsky, and
Okay, I see what you did there.
looking for Milos.
Okay, all right. Well, honored customer, do you have an appointment with the advocate?
Yes.
Make a persuasion check. You have advantage.
All right, here we go.
Nice. Good work. And that's a 19 with no bonus too. Nicely done. So the attendant bows deeply and says, "Honored customers, this way, please," and glides eerily across the black marble floor, leading you to the office of the advocate Milos. So Milos's office, this whole place again, like bank church. You are led into a back hallway lit with like these interior hallways have no windows, so it's lit with lantern light. So they grab a lantern and guide you. And there are other people kind of coming and going and talking. There are their offices, but the whole place is kind of, again, that kind of funereal hush. And you're brought to a door, and on the door there is a stained glass panel of a regal-looking, handsome man with his hands out, and little gold coins are tumbling from his hands into a crowd that he is sort of like standing on, and they're all like looking up like, "Yay, coins!" And they're like having the coins like fall onto them. And the attendant gently raps on the door, and then from within you hear a voice saying, "Come in." And the attendant opens the door for you and gestures broadly, like, "Please, after you."
We walk on in.
Okay. All right. So you go inside. The attendant closes the door behind you. This office is richly appointed. It's made out of the same, like the walls and the floor and the ceiling are made out of the same black marble that the rest of this area is. Shot through with veins of gold. There's a big stone desk, and behind it an enormous black wooden chair with like red upholstery. One wall is a bookshelf and scroll case. So there's all of those, and there is a couple of other chairs. There is a single fern in the room, though how it is alive, it is impossible to guess. For there's no natural light in here whatsoever. The room is lit by clusters of candles that are sitting on the bookshelf and on the desk. And so when you come in, you see behind the desk, working on some paperwork, you see the advocate. He's dressed similarly to what we saw Tomic wearing, the white kind of folded robes. He has a gold chain around his neck, and he looks like this is the real version of the guy you saw in the stained glass picture before. He's handsome. He's in probably his early 40s, slightly receding hairline. He appears to be human. His lines at the edges of his eyes and in his forehead, he looks like a man whose life is weighing on him a little bit. And he looks up and he smiles a little bit, and he says, "I don't remember making an appointment. How can I help you?"
I think Torgor and Road have this moment where they're both like, "Oh, who's taking the lead on this op?" Because it wasn't really discussed, and it's usually one of the two of us. Yeah. So we just sort of like.
I like gesture.
I'm sorry that. God, what is her not the Rose name? Voska?
Ministrant Vojka.
Vojka. Thank you. I don't even know how to spell that to make myself remember it.
Can Road try to say it and Torgor like corrects the pronunciation?
Yeah. That's absolutely what happens. I'm sorry that Minister Voshka forgot to make the
Voshka.
meeting. Voshka.
He folds the paperwork that I guess he probably puts sand on and then blows off the ink, blows off the excess sand and sets aside the paper that he's working on, and he says to you, when you say Ministrant Voska, he says, you're the Ministrant's friends. Yes, we spoke earlier this morning. I didn't expect you'd be so prompt. I appreciate it. Please, have a seat. He gestures to the 2 other chairs that are in the office.
We take a seat.
Mm-hmm. I'll sit on the left.
I sit on the right, obviously.
Did the ministrant tell you much about my expertise?
Mentioned you were an authority on legal matters.
He nods. I am a liaison to the Azorius Senate. I have experience dealing with them, which I understand will be valuable to the ministrant in this pursuit. Tell me, why do you need an advocate?
An innocent man is currently sitting in a jail cell, and we need him out as soon as possible.
Innocence. A funny concept. I find it's more often a case of having made the wrong enemies. We can apply guilt as we like from a position of power.
Mm-hmm.
The Senate seem to think that they have it all, but, well, gold has much to say in the matter. Which brings me to the next piece. If I'm to help you, and he looks over at the paperwork, the matter of compensation is at hand. You have money, I presume.
Torgor lifts up the hand with the ring and like strokes his chin. We will make sure you are paid for your work.
Nice. So what is the implication here that like don't try to get money out of us, like Vojka will take care of it? Right? We're her friends, we're an influence, like
it's like the idea of like money is not a concern. Like,
right, you're just trying to be like, I'm super rich, don't worry about it right now.
Don't
Yeah, like
concern.
money.
Talking about money, being concerned about money is a thing I haven't had to do since I started this character.
Also, it implies that like by you, the lawyer, being concerned with money,
Mhm.
like you have a lower status than I do because you're talking about money.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like that implication.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, make a persuasion check.
Cool.
I assist with a gentle scoff that he even asked about it.
Okay, fair. All right. I'll allow it. That sounds good. Ooh, a 13. All right.
13.
Let's see.
What a strong 13.
Consistent 13.
All right,
Wrong.
I will roll to I'll roll to oppose. Let's see if
A rock steady 13.
Oh my God.
My turn to roll the 20s. So
Oh,
he is not convinced by your words and your influence. He's danced this dance before,
Mhm.
and he says, had I had this conversation with the ministrant directly, you would have known that contracts have been drawn. I need signatures. And he slides the paper towards you, and he says, you don't have to pay me in gold. There are other currencies. And you can take a glance at the contract if you want to,
Yeah.
but he's making like eye contact with you, like, don't worry, we'll get this done one way or another.
Torgor picks it
Well-
up.
Yeah, Road also. I guess whoever's not making active eye contact with him is going to look at the contract.
Right.
Whoever's not
But
holding.
you know what? You know what? Actually, if I'm gonna maintain eye contact with him hard, and while I'm gonna wait actually until I know, while maintaining eye contact, what Road finds out from the contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're maintaining their manly eye contact. I look at the contract.
Torgor is terrified. He's like Orzhov is bad news. Like Rakdos is.
Yeah, I think I would rather die than sign this piece of paper.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
I guess we're gonna have to do this a violent way, which neither of us do. But...
No.
This is how I felt in the circus tent.
So, Road, you take a look at the contract. Let's have you make an investigation check to see what you can glean from it.
Okay.
At a glance.
I think that I did take a point in intelligence, so it's just a 0 now. But I did roll a 4. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't think I can assist on this because I'm
No,
too busy.
you're in the middle of like
Yeah.
death stare. Yeah, it's a lot of like the party in the first shell unto the party of the second, meaning unto this, and like there's a lot of legalese, but it's all written in this just like beautiful, like archaic medieval script, and you have no idea, but there's a big line at the bottom for you to write your name.
I toss it back onto the counter.
Yeah.
I
While
roll
they're doing that,
this.
I want to make I'm gonna try and intimidate him out of having us sign his paperwork.
Yeah. Okay.
Being like, how dare you think that we, like once again, like clearly showing what guild I'm aligned to on the table, knocking it down, would fall for your petty debt scam. You advocist? My God, what a scam you are. What a hollow, pathetic adjudicator of the law you think you claim to be. I will
put out
have
hand
you
on
bars.
You're like, honey, maybe let's not.
Oh,
Oh, no. All right. So he lets you go on with your tirade until Road kind of like slows you down, and he says, Rakdos, the disguise really wasn't necessary. The ministrant told me everything. I know you have nothing to offer me. So I suppose the question becomes, whose debt is this going to be, yours or hers?
Obviously hers. We
Mine.
are just.
And he slides the paper in front of you and he says, sign it. If you need someone to help you with the quill.
Oh. Whew.
I sign it. It's just like furious.
Can somebody clip like that moment of just like flabbergasted silence from the rest of the class?
Right. Yeah, so you sign the Torgor on there, and he takes it back.
Can I try and first write Dodor for Yesti? Like, see if he notices while I'm signing it.
Yeah, so here's the thing about like an Orzhov contract is that you could write anything on it. It's the act of
Fingerprint.
signing.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Perfect. Torgor does not know this.
Mhm.
Still does it.
Sign Whitaker's name.
Watches the ink change to Torgor after he's done.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally. So you sign it, and he watches the ink seep into the paper. We get a nice like tight like macro shot of it, and we watch the ink seep in. And he takes one of the candles, this black candles on his desk, and he drips some wax. He folds the contract, drips some wax on it, and he seals it with his signet, which is he's got a ring just like the one you have.
Mhm.
And then his whole attitude like changes once that happens. So he turns and he says, Hal, now that you've secured my services, let's see what we can do about getting your friend out of jail. That is what you want, isn't it, to get him back? I mean, I can do the inverse and make sure that he never gets out of jail again either. I have means and ways. How can I help you?
We want him out and in our care as securely and as quietly as possible.
Also, a copy of that contract on the way out.
You're like, I need to hire a lawyer to look at the contract I signed with my other lawyer.
Yeah.
I need to start chaining lawyers, please. Yeah.
My soul's already sold to one, so obviously I can get another person on the scam.
Right, and that'll be the thing, is just making this a problem where you're like, actually, I just offered you something I don't own, and Rakdos owns that, so you're gonna have to talk to Big Papa Rakdos on that one. So yeah, he's like, of course, yeah, paperwork is, they love it, it's their fetish, so he'll definitely have some available to you. And yeah, so you say this, and he says, so that's it. Just deal with the Senate, have him released, and remanded to your care. Does this person know that this is happening? Is he going to be likely to be accepting of your stewardship?
Probably not.
I can have him delivered to you unconscious if you prefer.
That'd be great.
Of course. I aim to please. So, what has he done, this Wenzel, you said? And he while he's speaking, he opens a drawer in his desk. He opens one of these drawers, and a thrall climbs out of it. Yeah, so this little homunculus like climbs up out of the desk and opens a book and he looks up at you, Torgor, and like leans over and with his little weird hand grabs the ink pot and slides it over to him and takes the quill out and focuses his little yellow eyes on the paper and starts like scribbling. And as you're speaking, his little thrall like legal aid is taking notes. His paralegal is taking notes while you speak. And so he says, Wenzel, was it? Does Wenzel have a last name? What guild does he belong to?
Ironclad, and he belongs to the Izzet.
Ironclad. Any relation to the senator?
Yes.
That does complicate things somewhat. How is their relationship?
Tenuous?
So you think that if
Torgor's and tenuous?
Torgor is intelligent but not wise. Just like
he's impulsive but smart.
Yeah.
So he takes his you say that, and he turns to you and he says, tenuous. We can work with tenuous. The real question is, do you think that his brother is going to come to his aid if he is remanded into Orzhov care?
The opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. That makes our job easier. So we'll have him sedated and delivered to you where?
This homemade cafe in the 11th district known as the Host in the Shell.
Oh yes, I've heard about this. My daughter visited there a couple of times when it was back in the factory district. I hear it's quite nice. Do you own this business?
You don't need to know that.
Because I know someone in mortgage law that if you ever need a loan, if you
God.
have property that you can leverage, it can be very lucrative.
Sad now.
And he smiles. He's like, of course.
So.
Yeah, right? He's just like, listen, I can help you refinance that thing. You can go on a vacation.
You pay for TurboTax, but what you really want is TurboTax Pro.
That's right. So he says, the crime in question. And when he says crime, you get the impression that he doesn't have as much respect necessarily for this word as a senator might. What exactly did he do? Murder someone important?
He's being allegedly charged with burning down a mansion.
Oh no! Wait, hold on. Is he being accused of that, or is he being out of game? Or isn't he being accused of the death?
So he was arrested for the murder of several Azorius lawbringers, which you did.
Yeah.
But also he's being held in suspicion of a connection to the arson of the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. They figured if they can get everybody, they can pin all this stuff on one person. They're good to go.
Right.
Okay.
Like the real police.
Am I right?
Yes. like the real police, exactly. Yeah. So he says he's like, well, arson is one thing. especially if they can't prove it. But, and this is a little known fact, most people think it's the murder that's illegal, but it's not. It's when the murder interrupts a guild's ability to do business. So the Senate is likely going to be trying to pin on him the business that these dead lawbringers would have performed. It's a loss of profit when it comes down to it. We'll have to make a request for their books, look into the arrest records of these officers. With a little luck, they're not that good at their job, and we can prove that they wouldn't have been that valuable. This Wenzel, they're an is it? Do you have any personal reason for us not to implicate the League at large in Wenzel's crimes? Or would you like to keep them out of it?
I need this as discreet as possible. Whichever way that leans, I don't care.
I mean, but if it has no way of getting back to us, I don't see why not cause them to spend hours and hours of paperwork going into is it files and looking at is it perhaps theories and blueprints, of all the reasons why they would need the Azorius Senate.
The Is It League maintains a defense fund in the case of experimental accidents. People die as a result of Is It misbehavior all the time. It's really not a big deal. So with little luck, these 4 officers aren't worth that much. And if we can get the Is It League to pay for it, then all the better. We'll spare your coffers.
That's great. Like upon hearing that, Torgo's like, yes.
Can we blame someone else?
Can we blame someone else
That's the
and not
subtitle of this game.
have the bill
Really is.
be as large as it needs to be on my end?
Jace Beleren must die, and the blame must fall on someone else. Yeah, okay. All right. So he his homunculus, his thrall makes notes. He asks you a bunch more questions, kind of like getting at the thing. And what he kind of comes around to is like, you don't need to concern yourselves with this. I will have him delivered to you, and I'll send you the final bill once it's all done. And if I can pin it on the Is It, maybe we'll get someone to settle out of court for the Is It League, and we'll just say that this was all a nasty accident. And if you don't think his brother, like if he doesn't have any influential friends, great, he's at our mercy. So I will look into that.
Road asks for a timeline.
Yeah, and also to let us know when you'll be meeting with Wenzel.
I don't intend to meet the man myself.
We
You need to disassociate yourself from the idea that this Wenzel is a person. He's cargo. He's an object, a delivery. What we're interacting with here is the law. I'm going to be doing that for you. All you need to do is find somewhere to put your feet up and enjoy the last days of your worrying about this Wenzel Ironclad. I'll have him brought to you.
Torgor just signed
That
his
sounds
life away,
lovely.
probably. No. We need to inspect the cargo before we know that it's being transferred. If some way his mind has been wiped, if there's something that has been done to him to truly make him less of an object, less of a person and more of an object, we need what's in his head. So I'm sorry. I'm going to have to stipulate that you go and visit him and verify that his consciousness is intact.
Well, that's a whole other matter, isn't it? Ensuring the validity of this person. That's not really my area of expertise.
Then I need you to oversee whoever it is, and whatever the cost, add it to the bill.
Very good. And he looks over at the thrall like, you got that, right? You heard him say that? Add it to the bill.
And tell me the exact date and time when this will be happening.
Billable hours.
Yeah, right. You hear a
all
cash
the workers
register
stuff.
somewhere just
Yeah.
go off. So he says, I'm going to have to do some research and look into the case and see how invested the Senate is in protecting this person before I can tell you how long it'll take. If he's really as pointless to them as you think, and there's no one pushing back, I could have him to you by the end of the day. If he's got friends, or if the Senate wants him for something more than this crime, or they think that they can put him up for obstruction of business, this could take longer. In that case, I'll reach out to you at your cafe and let you know.
I'll say this much. I think that you will encounter resistance, and I'm not sure you will find out who it is, but just expect it.
How mysterious. Is there anything else you can tell me about this resistance I'm to expect?
Nope.
You're good at your job. You'll figure it out.
Excellent, I hear.
The more you tell me, the easier this is going to be, and I will find out one way or another.
Just be mindful of your thoughts.
Very well. Well, I think that's everything that I need. And he stands up.
Oh, where's the bathroom? Just
It's just down the hall. I'll have Throcknar take you there.
I'm holding it in this entire time.
Of course, yes. If there's anything you need, do you need me to validate your parking?
He's a great customer service.
Yeah, right. Of course. Yeah. Now that he's gonna own your soul. So yeah, you get taken out of the you get led out of the offices area back out into the central hallway. You are given a copy of the contract, and and they tell you that like we'll get in touch as soon as we have more information. Thank you for your business.
Mm-hmm. As soon as we walk outside,
so you come outside, and as soon as you get out there, to your immediate left, there is what looks like a family, like a grown family, not like kids, but like two younger siblings, maybe in their 20s, and then like their mom, and the mom is like weeping, and they're all dressed in like funeral garb, and the mom is like weeping, and the kids are trying to console her, and she says something about like he's going to be a ghost forever, and they're like, father knew he knew what he was going into, and like she's just like oh, and like weeping about her husband, and so you walk out and kind of have to walk around these people as you come out of the bank.
Inspires me even more. So I like start writing my letter to Kerfuffle and being like, I soon, and I turn to Road. I'm like, we're breaking Wenzel out of this prison before this contract can be completed, therefore making it null and void.
Yeah, well, if you hadn't have signed it, then that wouldn't have to be a thing that we had to do.
Well, I wasn't going to get the love of my life being trapped in a spirit.
The love of your life? That was stupid, and there's no way around that. You have people who cry over you like they are?
I mean, no, but they'll dance and have a good time. Like,
I hope it's a great time.
I hope it's a debaucherous show. just my life.
We could have just gone home and ate cake for 2 days until his body was delivered to us. But now we have to break. I'm sorry.
What else? I mean, look, I already had the clowns. What they're going to be disappointed.
You just did this because you wanted to use the clowns, and I want you to admit to that.
Honestly,
75 clowns.
Honestly, it's like 46. Like I signed the contract, and then I was like, crap, how do I get out of this? And then I remembered I had the clowns, and I was like, oh, we need to set up a time when he's there, and then he gets knocked unconscious, and then we can claim he's bad at his job. Like, Torgor is not becoming a spirit. Please no. As much as it's like I think Torgor made a impulsive decision out of affection for Vroshka that he's now like trying to backpedal in some way, like bit off way more than he thought.
I think that makes sense.
And it's actually really interesting how like Road witnessing her, like Torgor's affection for like this person, her being like, oh yeah, doing that is stupid, and she's just like taken any of those things and she's locked it in a box and she's thrown it in a trash can. It's like, oh yeah, that makes you stupid, doing that makes you dumb. It's just like so yeah, she's
love is a mistake.
Love is a mistake. That's what we learned today.
All right, so Torgor, you're gonna what is the plan here? Are you gonna I guess we can all have everybody meet up again now that you've ditched the evidence and you've got this lawyer running interference or whatever on this, looking into the Wenzel situation.
I write on the letter just like my next contact will tell you when and where you need to be.
Right. So you're like murder clowns, stand by.
Yeah, be on deck. Start lighting your flaming like sickles that you juggle. Like,
Okay. All right. So the murder clown posse begin filling their
Murder
jugs
clown
with
posse.
Fago and yeah.
Makeup, yeah.
Exactly. Putting on their juggalo makeup, getting their chain wallets ready.
discussing magnets, getting all
they're
into it.
ready. They're getting hype. Okay. All right. So you send the notice that like the next time you hear from me, it will be time for the strike of the juggalos. So get ready. Okay. All right. Good. They're on. You got juggalos on standby. You are all back in the host in the shell, and there are I think a group of like rich kids there. They're probably like the kids of like some important Selesnians, and they're doing karaoke and they're hanging out and laughing, and the place seems like pretty busy. Business is working, and you move past them and get into your little back room, your closet, Torgor, are you going to share your plan with everybody?
Torgo opens a window and then lights a cigarette immediately as soon as he sits down. You've never seen Torgo smoke before, because Torgo doesn't smoke, but now he's puffing on it a little bit, and then just like in a stream of consciousness just repeats everything about what happened at the bank, and then says, so the clowns are ready, and just once we find out when Milosh is meeting with Wenzel, they hit, and in the confusion we grab Wenzel and make it out of there.
Oh, okay. Couple different moving parts. I, for one, didn't think the lawyer would be able to get Wenzel out. I was hoping to just use the lawyer as recon to figure out where they're holding Wenzel.
Right.
This adds a new layer to it all.
No, but my plan takes that layer back,
Yeah. Also, the plan involves you losing possibly your soul of some baby, or becoming some type of a ghost.
Half the cigarette in one drag upon hearing that from Winter.
Whoa. That was a 100, guys.
It's the American spirit over there that he's treating like nothing.
Yeah. It's healthier for you because there's less chemicals in it. That's what you got to tell yourself when you smoke American.
I'd be like an Azorius spirit. They just come in blue or white. And
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, they're better for you.
Actually, this kind of feels win-win for breaking him out, because even if we lose, right? So we break him out, we succeed, we have Wenzel. But if we don't succeed and they tie it back to Wenzel, then that's another thing to hold him for. So then it takes even longer for the lawyers to get him out.
Well, you're doing a great job layering bullshit on top of bullshit, right? Because you got him in jail in the first place, so they think that he's a murderer. Yeah, I mean, you definitely did. They think he's a cop killer. They're trying to figure out why he's being tortured and being like, I don't know anything about it. And they're like, yeah, but you do. Tell us. So they think he's he's got his connection to his own guild, and then an Orzhov lawyer is going to come and try to get him out, and then the precinct's going to be attacked by murder clowns, so then he's gonna think he has Rakdos connections. It's very complicated. There's a lot of layering. The police officers responsible for figuring this out, they're gonna have a rough time of it.
Man, it's gonna be real rough. I mean, this could be tied up in court for a really long time, which gives us a ton of time to break him out.
Okay. Can I look over the copy of the contract that
Please.
Torgor signed?
Yes. Yeah, you
I
definitely
think that's
can.
really important as we move ahead.
Yes.
And Tack hold out Tack's little goblin hand for Torgor's hand.
Because also because I would really truly want to ask, because my soul is already promised to Rakdos, did I truly offer him something that I can't give him? And if that is the case, then there's no even need for the murder clowns. I'll just have them come over for tea and crumpets. They love tea and crumpets. Like,
This was an episode of The Simpsons Halloween special where Homer sells his soul for a donut, but it
Wait.
turns out that Marge has his soul, so they just turn his head into a giant donut in which he eats fade out end credits.
yes.
So in
Simpsons has done it.
this analogy, Rakdos is Marge Simpson.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Good, cool.
Really, the chaotic patriarch.
Torgor. Awesome.
Oh, Torgor!
Fantastic. Great. Good stuff. Okay.
I super hate this.
So Winnegar, make an investigation check to examine this contract.
I will help.
Okay. All right, so you have advantage. 16? Okay. So best you can tell, the contract itself details everything that he promised to do, right? That he would he would go in to try to free this person from the Senate's clutches, and that basically covers just what you agreed to. In addition, the cost stuff, you will pay him back in an amount of Xenos that is a ludicrous amount you definitely don't have. If you are unable to pay in Xenos after a certain amount of time, I think you have 3 months to repay the debt. If you cannot pay after 3 months, then you are corporeally or spiritually forfeit, your choice. They will either take your soul to be bound for a number of years to Orzhov's service before then being dissipated, or if you are unwilling to pay with your soul, they will take your body instead, and then you can pay off your debt that way by being an indentured servant to Orzhov forever. But it's your body. You'll be dead. You won't matter. They'll separate your spirit and your body. It definitely specifies you are responsible for the maintenance of your own spirit. If you are separated from your body, they hold no responsibility for that. It's not like they're going to make sure that you stick around as a ghost, but you could have someone come and pick up your ghost or do something else with it if you are interested in that. That is not their business. They don't care. So yeah, you have some repayment options if you cannot pay back the exorbitant amount of Xenos that is required for their service.
When would they get my body? Upon my death? Or
No. Right.
In 3 months.
In 3 months. Yeah. It would be you cannot pay, and and so we get the money, Lebowski, or we get your soul, or we get your body. It's up to you. Winnegar, you have an extra D4, so if you want to roll that and see if we can get the 16 up a little higher. Because I think there's some more information you might get. Okay, not on a 17. So the thing is here, Winnegar, Torgor's idea of being well, I already swore my soul to Rakdos, Orzhov will be that's cool, Rakdos can have it. We just want your flesh.
Yeah, so basically it's like you got a credit card with a high limit, but the APR will literally kill you. So it's impossible to get out of this hole.
So Torgor needs to cut up the card before it's ever swiped.
Before you spend it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that possible?
I mean,
Mind?
I mean, you've already, it's more like student loan debt. Yes, you could just not go to class, but that's not going to be an excuse when they come looking for the money. Be I just never went to class. I didn't learn anything.
What's the interest?
Did it do the thing you said you were gonna do? I don't know, man. I mean, you didn't get him sedated to the host in the shell.
The only way you can see you can see free of this contract is if they don't perform the service. There's going to be a fee no matter what. Right, just for trying. They don't promise you we will do it. They promise you that within the best extent of their ability, they will attempt to get this person out.
Sure.
But
no matter what you do, he's still in trouble.
There is still more money, available than you have. More money on the table here than you have available to you.
You can tell that because you did not give us an actual number. So
yeah, exactly. There's no sense in putting out that number because it just doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't.
Guess you gotta marry the Rose and hope she doesn't ask for a prenup. Good luck.
The thing is that so the way Orzhov, the way they treat the world, their kind of viewpoint is they have resources and they know that not everyone has access to resources that they need to be the best them that they can be. So they will give you some of their resources. This is an act. Giving someone money is a divine act. It is something that raises them up. Debt is a sin. And so they want to give you ways to absolve yourself of your sins, that
Very
debt to them.
Presbyterian.
Yeah. So they want you to be able to free yourself from this debt. So claiming your soul or your body is not it's not seen as like, it's not punitive. It's also of benefit to you because your body and your soul will be then cleansed of your debt, which is a better state for you, even if you're not alive anymore. Yeah.
To ask the Rose to transfer this contract over to her.
That would be a hard ask, because then you're basically saying to her, like, this thing that you believe, we want you to take on this debt for us, right? This heavy spiritual thing.
I think that
She has a
should
Xenos.
be the other side of the contract. I think that you should transfer patronage to her.
Oh, so like get her
You're
to...
asking for a different loan officer.
You're right. We'll get her to pay. She would buy your debt from... Right. So same. You would just have a debt to her, and then she would be like, all right, Torgor, let's find a way for you to pay me back.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll give you my
but
body.
she would
Don't
be-
worry about it.
But she's at least more more invested
Sorry,
in
Katie.
Torgor remaining alive.
Maybe she wants Torgor alive, or maybe
Yeah.
she doesn't.
Maybe she does.
Well,
She's a
maybe she
vampire.
could have killed us last night. It's fine.
Well, it's not that she wants to kill you. It's just that Torgor may or may not be of service to her alive or dead, right? Like yes, I will take your
Actually,
body, Torgor.
We got 3 months to find out, though.
Yeah, you
That's
do.
true.
I don't know. Are vampires alive?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think they're not, but maybe.
If they're not, she could make Torgor a vampire.
Yeah, I think that's more of like a special like gift rather than a punishment or an absolution of debt.
Okay, we already said this wasn't a punishment.
That's right.
It's a blessing.
Torgor owes the Ordrov. That's okay. I'm sure you'll figure it out. You don't have to worry about it for 3 whole months.
3 whole.
You got the whole summer to just have a great time, and you can worry about this.
Yeah.
Torgor, like,
So here's what I'd like to pose. If we're going to get you out of this contract anyways, then why don't we just let him do the entire thing?
Yeah.
But the
Why would we get our
clown.
security? I know that some people at this table are really dedicated.
Sorry,
Good
boys.
idea.
Murder clown's off. Oh, but I already lit all these torches.
If he's
We
gonna
need to
get
play smart.
if he's gonna get the guy off anyway, we could still use the murder clowns.
Edgar, what do you think? All right. Sounds
Did you ask Winnegar or Torgor? Sorry.
oh,
Winnegar.
Winnegar.
oh, I thought you asked Torgor. I'm sorry.
God, to tell you what,
I feel like what's ever gonna put us in the best position to keep Torgor's soul, I think is what we need to do here. And if that's just like making that contract a little incomplete, a little bit workaroundable, I think that's the way to go.
Clowns.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
That's 3 votes for clowns.
Torgor
Yeah.
honestly is like at this point is just depressed and is like whatever the group wants to do.
You can't be depressed when democracy is at work, Torgor. That's 3 votes for clowns.
Yeah.
All right.
Aw.
So he's gonna tell you when he's visiting. We still don't know where he is. We didn't.
No, so he'll let us know when and where he's going to meet him.
Well, why don't we follow him?
Exactly. One of us goes even in to supervise this interaction.
What if we
And-
follow him and then kill him?
That's on the table.
Maybe. If Torgor would love this, but honestly, that might not even absolve the debt. That might just
Yeah.
transfer it.
Well, then you're just killing him for fun.
Oh, Okay, Torgor could use some fun.
I could
See,
use a break, Let's
We
go.
throw murder at the dartboard enough
Yeah.
times, and
Yeah,
someone's gonna think it's a good
Honestly,
idea.
the clowns I'll just be happy to see Curly, Larry, and Mo. Jerry.
I love the idea here of like Torgor watching these murder clowns like burning down a police station, and Tack being like, "There you go, buddy. Don't you feel better now? Look."
Yeah, there you go, buddy.
It's like, pat, pat.
It's like it was funny because
Okay,
they
yeah.
swung the spear and cleaved the guy's head behind his back, and he
Look,
didn't even.
That guy looks like he's kissing his own butt because they cut his head off. Aw, it's funny.
Kissing his own butt. You said butt.
All right. So, yeah, he said your lawyer said he's gonna go and check out the situation in a couple of like he'll have information for you in a couple of days if it's more complicated than you think. But if you want to go and play surveillance on the station and wait for the lawyer to show up, you could do that too.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go surveil, which I guess means bringing Torgor to the place that he's most wanted.
I've still got this Orzhov disguise, so it is.
You still look like
good.
you still look like a rockabilly goth. So
What are they? Are they
yeah.
gonna stop
What a
every
mean-
Minotaur that goes through the precinct? Come on.
I'll say a lot of things about the Azoria Senate, but I don't think that Minotaur profiling is a thing that they do.
They don't do stop and frisk.
That's
Thank
right.
goodness.
They don't, yeah. Now, if they think you're a Golgari, then definitely that's more
for sure.
that's more the thing.
100%. I mean, and dude.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right.
Yeah.
So that's the plan.
I think.
All right. Yeah. So you head once more back to the precinct in which your sister, Road, your sister works. Triska, hard at work trying to maintain law and order in in District 1 and having a rough time of it. All right. Okay. So you do you all go there together and hang out outside and wait, or
Is there like a building rooftop? Like, can I do an investigate to see if there's like any vantage points that we could like oversee the entrance?
Is there a rooftop bar across the street that we could just drink at and also
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I could really go for a rattler right about now, guys.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, yes, totally. There is absolutely. That's fine. I think there's like a vantage point that you can look out and see the precinct. You can see the senators coming and going. You can go there for brunch. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
They got these crepes there. Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's the scene. Then we crossfade to the group of you sitting. You've requested a table at the edge of the patio, and you're looking down at the little like area in front of the police precinct and watching people and sort of vehicles come and go. And I think you see your lawyer approach. He is attended by a handful of servants. He's got like 2 paralegals. He's got a thrall, and then trailing behind him, there is a sort of wispy, ethereal cloud of bound spirits that are following him. And it is clear that this is a man who is used to people making way for him, right? Like people get out of his way. He has he's dressed for the outdoors now, so he has a coat over top of his white robes. He has a cane that he walks around with, like a silver cane, and he has a top hat, which he gives to his assistants when he arrives at the precinct, and he goes inside.
Okay, when we see him walking up,
Yeah.
is it a team? Is it a thing where one of us tries to get in with him?
Yeah, I mean, we can pan down and have someone already be ready to like go in with him or like stop him on the way up to the door or whatever. Like, I'm fine with you having prepared this in advance.
Yeah.
I
don't think it should be Torgor.
But shouldn't it be though? Because they'll be like, so what if they get caught up and like they interrogate me, and then like,
state.
and then the diversion happens, and then everyone escapes, and I'm just in the. No, you're right. It
Like,
don't-
please get arrested.
shouldn't.
I don't think it should be Road either, because we don't need Milosh finding out that Road has Azoria's ties.
Heck, it is.
Yeah, it
Or
sounds like it's
perhaps
you, Tack.
another member of the Is It?
Mhm.
Oh, well, both.
Maybe it's the
Someone
person
can
who has
cast
magic
minor
who can-
illusion.
Yeah, maybe it's the person who could disguise themselves magically.
Yeah. Like that Wenzel guy or Nerm. Guy.
I imagine this was the exact conversation in hosting the show. Like,
Mhm.
man, if only one of us could use magic to disguise themselves multiple times.
Yeah. Or guys, I could just disguise myself using magic.
All right, so how about you go, Winnegar? And I guess we can just intercept and we can be like, "Hi, this is Winnegar. He's going with you."
Yeah, that's
Bye.
a good guess. Yeah, with my life, I'm glad we're just guessing at this.
Hey. At least you'll die when you die.
Oh, okay. Cool, guys. Okay, who am I disguising myself as? Who do you think?
Why don't you just disguise yourself as like a regular Azorius officer, spy on him, and then disguise yourself as the advocate whenever we go to break the guy out of prison?
You don't even need to go as a disguise. You can
Yeah.
just go
Or you can just go as who
talking to
you are.
your friend.
Yeah.
You can just say like, "Hey, this is my friend Wenzel, who I'm so sad has been imprisoned. I
This is
want to
someone
talk to
We
him."
want to verify
Yeah,
that
that's true.
Wenzel's in the right condition because they know him. It's his
Do you
best
want to
buddy.
take this pew pew?
Everyone is making a lot of good points, but I'm really liking the points where I disguise myself.
Jack is like waving a gun around.
Yeah. Yep.
Where did we land on the disguising? I feel
Okay,
like
just
we were going
disguise
someplace.
yourself as a non-existent member of the Is It League, who just still is Wenzel's friend, who can verify his state of mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so Winnegar turns around, and when he comes back, it's just him with a mustache. It
Perfect.
looks pretty sweet. It looks
It's like
pretty sweet.
a marker mustache.
Yeah, it just looks like pretty sweet. It's just like, all ready to go, guys.
He looks like
Great.
Dorian.
I'm not totally sure that Vidalkin can grow facial hair, but I don't care.
Oh,
I think it's
okay.
fine. I think if you want to,
It's an illusion.
I'm almost certain. Like they don't have. I don't think they have body hair at all.
You
But
know, I thought about that too, but there are some drawings, there are some paintings with them, like who they have hair on top of their head.
yeah, I think some of them do. The problem is that there are multiple kinds of Vidalkin. There are
That's true.
Ravnican
Yeah.
Vidalkin, and we ran into this problem before. There are Ravnican Vidalkin and there are Kaladesh Vidalkin, and Dovinban has 6 fingers, but you only have 5 because you're
Oh.
different species. But everyone just thinks that Dovin is like a mutant or something, right? That there's something. No one talks about it because they're like, don't talk about Dovin's weird hands. We just don't mention it. It's like a third nipple.
Mention his hands.
Yeah, don't stop looking at his hands.
He
Right.
hates it. He hates it. He hates the hands.
Yeah, though now you know the real reason why he has weird fingers because he's from another place.
Oh, what a weirdo.
But yeah, I
Tack-
think it would be fine if you want to have a mustache. It's fine. It's a
Tack
disguise
will
mustache.
offer to give Winnegar 5 Xenos if he disguises himself as either Triska or one of the dead Azorius officers, because it would be really funny.
That's messed up, Tack. No, I'm not doing that.
Thank
10
you.
Xenos.
Guys.
Do you even have that? No.
Okay, I'm not
10
doing it.
Xenos and a rainbow gelato.
How about I don't kick your ass? That's my option.
It's a pretty good offer.
Okay, I'm gonna go. And I just like go down there.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
we like intercept Milosh.
Okay. So you want to stop Milosh before he gets to the.
Yes.
Is anyone still in the brunch restaurant?
I guess.
Like Tack and Torgor are still having brunch and
I'm still
providing
having brunch.
oversight. Okay.
I'm like 6 mimosas in.
Hell yeah. I use them.
We have earpieces in. They're non-functional, but we'd like to imagine they are.
Winnegar, do you have, I mean, if Winnegar has like the message spell or something, you could use that.
Oh
but-
yeah, I do have
yeah,
message. I
So
think.
Winnegar can pass messages around.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I want to get an idea. So Torgor and Tack, you are upstairs in the patio area of this brunch joint that overlooks one police plaza. And then down on the street, Road, you are going to intercept the advocate before he gets to the police station.
Yeah, just so I can introduce. What do you want your code name to be?
Okay. All right. And then you are going to so you're going to stop him, and then you're going to introduce him to whoever Winnegar is pretending to be.
Yes, whatever Winnegar's code name is, which is
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
No one's named Tom Cruise in
It's true.
Ravnica.
It's a very unusual name.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're pretending to be a member of the Is It League that is concerned about, like, you're here for that purpose. Like, this is like kind of like the union representative. Like, no, you
Yeah,
can't talk to him without a member of the league present.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, can you just go as like his friend? Just like, hey, this is his friend. He'll know if he's still of sound mind. We just want a confirmation from someone who knows him.
I think he'll recognize me when he sees me, right? Because I've met him before. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I think that if we try to send like an official union rep in with Milo,
somewhere-
she's not going to let him in.
Also,
So-
there's like a trail in case whatever happens. They're like, yeah, and there's this Is It union rep. Wait, we didn't send an Is It union rep, and then that's
Yeah, so just
Yeah,
a
so
friend
just
to
like a
validate
concerned
the
member
amount.
of the league. Like, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's okay. All right, yeah. And I don't think there's no resistance there. Like, I think that Milish is just like, you should have told me about this yesterday, but fine. It doesn't change my business at all. And he says to Winnegar, like, you just stay quiet if you can. This is very delicate, and sometimes the things that we say in these sorts of meetings can set precedent for difficulties down the line. So if you can avoid speaking at all, which I know can be difficult for you, it would make my job easier. We're going to get your friend out of jail.
And then,
Winnegar pauses before he agrees, and he goes, "I agree, but my agreement does not give you my soul." Because now he's like really scared. This guy's gonna try to trick him out of his soul. So every time this guy talks to him, he's gonna be like, "You ain't getting my soul. I'm on to you."
Excellent. All right. So we see the group of you. We see Rode, Winnegar, Milosh, and his paralegals all go into or
Rhode's
Rode,
not
or
trying
you're
to
not
go
you're not
in.
going.
Rhode's
Okay.
just
All right.
dropping him off. She's
Okay,
like, here's
so-
my child, dropping him off at daycare. I'm gonna go drink. I'm gonna go back to brunch.
Perfect. Okay, so Rode, you turn to go back to brunch. We cut back to the brunch place. We see Torgor and Tak at a table. There's mimosas. There's crepes. There's like maybe a nice scramble in there. And I think that before we conclude, we hear a familiar voice, and the camera pans over, and we see that this brunch joint, this brunch patio, has some new attendees. So a waiter is leading a group of people. There are 3 of them over to a table like pretty near yours. You see a familiar man with enormous sideburns. So you see Ironclad, the OG Ironclad. You see an elven detective that we have seen once or twice before, and also attending this brunch meeting is a certain 6-fingered Vidalcan.
Oh no!
Wait. The detective.
It's your sister. It's Triska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is at
Oh.
So Triska,
She's
Ironclad,
in the middle of a
Ironclad,
game.
and Dovinban are all going to have a nice brunch and have a little chat. And so we see them. The waiter brings them to a table near yours, and gestures to the table, and says, "And I'll be right back with your drinks, adjudicator." And turns away, and the 3 of them sit down, and we fade out on that. And so, Tak and Torgor, if you want to try to eavesdrop, you will have the opportunity next time.
Yeah.
I was writing a note to the murder clowns like as this was happening, like
It's really bad.
stroke. Yeah.
Tak is like 6 mimosas in, and I don't
Uh-huh.
know whether or not Tak is gonna open up with a high Triska.
Wait, is this an indoor or outdoor brunch spot?
It is outdoor.
Okay, then
but
Torgor's-
they're like umbrellas because it rains.
Torgor's
a lot.
constantly smoking still. Like
Yeah.
has
Nice. It's just like 6 empty champagne flutes and an ashtray that's overflowing.
just fine.
Perfect.
Tak has taken to like eating French toast out of a plate in their lap.
I just like that while the credits are rolling, it just cuts back to Nerm cleaning in his underwear.
Oh
and
yeah,
he's-
totally. Nerm is the during credit sequence where he's just
Dancing,
He's
bust
rocking.
singing,
yeah.
Run the Gruels.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
good,
That's
very
a
good.
real thing now. That
Yeah.
that happens.
Fuck the Orzov.
Preach, Nerm.
That's really good. Now I'm just thinking about Killer Mike as like an ogre. Did anybody
Mike
just
the
as an aside, as a Killer Mike aside, did anybody watch his Netflix show?
Yes.
No,
It
I
was
need to
really
watch it.
good. There
It
was
super clever.
there was a lot
It
of
looked-
really good stuff in there. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
Yeah, and it's funny because like it's very much like Killer Mike. His show is very much about like being marginalized and like being a black person in America. And I think that it's really funny whenever LP is in it. LP is just like, "Yep, please don't ask me about these things. I don't."
I'll be quiet. This is my friend. I'm just here to support.
Just look at Mike. Don't look at me. Just look at Mike.
Yeah.
It's really cute. Like he's just like, yep, I don't. Okay. Yeah.
My
it's
place
really
is
good.
over here.
Yeah, I'm gonna just sit over. That's fine. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah. Anyway, that just reminded me of it. I watched it and it's very cool.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
Speaking of cool shows, we'll be back next week with more Jace Beleren Must Die. But in the meantime, all of these cool people have things that they do that you can check out. And I will start over here, looking cool in the new office. Katie, why don't you do the thing?
Yes. Okay. Well, you can find me out on Twitter at OKKatieMay. I usually create polls about who's going to kill us in Jace Beleren Must Die. So next week it's going to be really interesting.
So many options.
There's so many options, truly, at this point. Nerm will be one of the options, just to clarify. But I'm seeing it. I'm calling it now. But if you're interested in maybe listening to an all-women D&D podcast, 5e, you can go ahead and listen to Dungeons, Dice, and Everything Nice. I'm the DM. A lot of fun, some occult, some prophecy, some butcher shop shenanigans. It's a fun time.
Nice. Cool. I am interested in that. That does sound good.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll go this direction. Torgor, our lovely and beloved Minotaur. Let's see. Go
For
ahead.
how long? 3 months.
3 months. We got 3
3
months.
months. Yo, it's Masudak. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Marudeboy, MAHRUDEBOI. You know, guys, rumor has it a second tweet might be coming out there.
Whoa.
And I don't know what it'll be, when it'll be, but can use some inspiration. So if that number keeps rising, no, but for real, if you guys want to keep up to what I'm doing in my antics and just photos of my cat, definitely follow my Instagram. But yeah.
Yeah, you were posting a bunch of Instagram story photos. I think maybe last weekend. And I was
Mhm.
like, "Hey, I know this person. This is great content." That made me very happy.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, cool. Down here, playing Tack. It's TK. You have the easiest combination to. So did you name Tack that way because it just
Yes.
sounds like, yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you for that.
Yes, that is. I've started doing this thing where I don't like doing a bunch of syllables in names, and Tack gave
That's
me
good.
a
Yeah.
perfect opportunity to do a single syllable name that sounded fairly close to what my actual name is.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
worked out great. And also because of Tax, it just sounds tiny, sharp.
It's
And
prickly.
very
It's a
entertaining.
prickly
Yes.
name.
Yeah, it's me. It's TK. I'm writing those spooky stories. I'm putting them on the internet. You can read them, tkjreds.com, or you can follow me on Twitter, TK Joins the Fray. I'm never going to update my streaming schedule, but if you like Tales from the Mist and you also like charity, then you can watch us play Tales from the Mist this Saturday, 9 to 12:30 Pacific time. Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
9 to 12:30 Pacific time. We're going to be playing a Take This Org one shot called Gardens of Fog. It is about bringing compassion to mental health struggles. So that's nice. And then we'll have a wrap up and discussion with Dr. Megan Connell. It'll be great.
Sounds
If you follow Tales from the Mists on Twitter, Miss Tales D&D, then you can read all about it there. It's great. Good time.
Sick. That sounds awesome.
Buy
Thank
my
you.
book.
Yeah, also do that. And last but not least, it's Carlos. Carlos,
Yeah.
take us away.
It's Carlos. Yeah, you can find me on all social media under Carlos Crits. You could also find me on Rivals of Waterdeep. That's on Sundays at God, I don't even know what is it.
When do I even do this thing?
When do I even do that? Noon Central Time. So what is that?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Pacific. Yeah. Dungeon Rats actually is we just had the last session ever of Dungeon Rats. It ended abruptly. One of our players got an awesome job, an awesome opportunity, and he will be traveling for that. And one of his things in his contract is that he can't support other games and make money off them. So yeah, you can still catch all of those on our feed though, Dungeon Rats. You can visit dungeonrats.com or just look up the podcast. And I think the next place you'll see me is Gen Con. Actually, I will be doing that take this, but not this week. It's next Saturday. And I do not know the specifics because I do not pay attention in emails.
Does anyone?
But yeah, it's next Saturday sometime.
People still send emails. I don't know what kind of weird.
Yeah,
thing
I don't know.
Cool. Cool. Thanks, Carlos. Yeah. So yeah, that's it for us for this week. You're gonna find me on Twitter at Skinny Ghost or twitch.tv/Adam Coble or right here on the D&D channel. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, the same YouTube channel you're watching, doing Roll20 Presents Ghosts of Saltmarsh. And I guess the next time you're gonna see me is in like 4 hours for the Roll20 Indie Showcase. I get to play. I don't have to GM. I just get to play and produce the show and just cause trouble. And I think I get to be a robot. So we're doing a showcase of Grimmer Space. That's at 4 p.m. Pacific. If you're watching this live, it'll be on YouTube. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Roll20 app. So that's it for us. We will be back next time with more shenanigans and romance, I guess.
Romance, yeah.
Yeah, making friends and breaking hearts. We will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Run the gruels fast.